What's going on, guys? Today I am going to walk you through the installation of a set of Ohlins coilovers on our 2023 BRZ. First, we have Steve removing the wheel here. That is going to be the starting point of every coilover installation. Secondly, we are going to have him removing the upper and lower strut bolts. Keep in mind the upper bolt is a camber bolt. From there, we're going to have him removing the ABS wire from the strut, followed by removing the brake line from its mounting point on the strut, as well as unbolting the sway bar end link before removing both strut bolts. After that, we are going to be removing the top strut top hat mounting nuts before removing the strut assembly itself and working our way towards installing our new Ohlins coilover. Now, it may help to put a nut on top before starting this process, but first we put the eccentric bolt, also known as the camber bolt, in the top, as well as the standard bolt down in the bottom before putting both nuts on. And then from there we are going to be tightening down the Ohlins provided ABS wire hold down strap. Now, we are going to need to remove the factory clip from the ABS wire, and then it simply gets put right back into place and the Ohlins provided piece bends right around it. Now, we are going to use our factory brake hose mounting bolt as well as the provided nut from Ohlins, and this is going to be bolted onto the side of the coilover. After that, we can go ahead and torque everything right back up, the two lower as well as the three upper nuts. Now you can go ahead and reconnect your sway bar end link. Please note that on factory vehicles, it may be easier to remove the other side end link before attempting this. Now, the other side is all the same process, so we're just going to continue from there, tightening everything down and moving on to the rear. From there, we are going to remove the wheel, of course. Now, while you're under the car, it will be easiest to remove both of the lower bolts for both struts on either side. Then from there, we're going to go into the trunk, removing the main floor panel of the trunk, and then going ahead and removing the clips here on this rearward most panel before starting to remove the push tabs on our side panels. And then from there, our inner panel can be removed. Once that is removed, you can move forward into removing the two upper top hat nuts on the rear suspension. Once those are removed, we are going to have to loosen and remove the rear sway bar end link bolt, as well as the lower control arm bolt where it attaches to the hub. This is to give us enough clearance to remove the factory strut from the back of the vehicle. From there, you can reinstall your Ohlins coilover. Quick little trick here is to reinstall the rear bolt and then use a microfiber rag under the coilover itself. What that will do will actually hold up the coilover enough to be able to get the nuts on top. Once you have the nuts on top, it is just as easy as reassembling everything that you had taken apart on the bottom, starting with the strut, moving on to the knuckle, and then from there, reinstalling the bolt on the sway bar end link. Sometimes using a screwdriver to align everything does make life a little bit easier. Once you have those bolts reinstalled, reinstall the nuts before torquing everything right back to factory spec. Now, moving up into the trunk, we are going to want to retorque the top mounting nuts on the top of the strut, and then putting our interior panel back, just replacing all of the clips that we had previously removed. Once we finish that up, the other side is almost the exact same process, just mirrored to the other side of the car. Now that we have that back together, you can reinstall your rearward most trunk panel as well as your trunk liner. Before closing the trunk, and you are good to go. Now, we are going to be installing a set of Titan 7 wheels as well as Titan 7 lug nuts. As you can see, Steve is putting these wheels back on the car right before we put it back on the ground and to see how the fitment looks. Thank you guys for watching this brief installation of the Ohlins coilovers and Titan 7 wheels and our 2023 BRZ. We are pretty excited to take this car out to the next Lock City Drift Clinic. There will be a video following this one, and we'll give you our review on how we like it. Thanks again. Like, comment, subscribe, and let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see down in the comments.